Hi, this is John Fleischman, publisher of the FlashReport and Vice Chairman South of the California Republican Party. And this video is designed to be one in a series to talk about Proposition 14, the so-called open primary measure, which was placed on the ballot as part of the infamous budget deal of 2009, which included slamming new taxes on Californians, new income taxes, new sales taxes, and new car taxes. And the reality is, if Proposition 14 becomes the law, if it's placed into the Constitution, the budget deal that you saw last year will no longer be the exception. It will become the rule, as tax increases will become more and more prevalent in Sacramento. Let me take an opportunity to explain to you why having more able Maldonados in the legislature, which is the desired effect of the proponents, why having more able Maldonados in the legislature is a bad idea. To do so, I'll focus on the politics of the state assembly, though this will be similar for the state senate. Right now in the state assembly, as you know, it takes a 54-vote majority to raise taxes. Currently there are 29 Republicans, which means that 3 Republicans have to go up on a tax increase. That happened last year, but I think everyone will acknowledge that it came at a great personal sacrifice to those 3 Republicans, because raising taxes is not only not popular within the Republican Party, but in the case of 2 of those 3 Republicans, they signed a pledge not to do it and broke that pledge as part of the deal. Anyways, let's presume that the purpose of Prop 14, adding more able Maldonados to the legislature, is successful. So let's presume for a moment that, say, 6 new able Maldonados replace current liberals in the Democrat caucus, and 3 new able Maldonados are created in the state assembly Republican caucus. Well, follow my logic here, but even if you have 6 new able Maldonados in that Democrat caucus, you're still going to have a vast majority of Democratic legislators who are union-controlled or liberal ideologues who have no interest in any kind of meaningful reform for California that protects California taxpayers. There would still be over 41 of these liberal Democrats, and the reality is that means that they will still control the process of the House. They will control the committee chairmanships, the speakership, they will control office assignments, committee assignments, committee staff. At the same time, Republicans will still control nothing. And so, it doesn't take a lot of logic to figure out that these able Maldonados, the 6 new Democrat ables, the 3 new Republican ables, are going to be very influenced by the power of that institution. But let's also remember this inconvenient truth. The Democrats, as a spectrum of ideology, kind of go from from liberal Democrats who want to grow government as quickly as they can and redistribute wealth, to maybe some more moderate Democrats who have no desire to shrink government. They just want government to grow more slowly. And that's their spectrum. But on the Republican side, we have conservative Republicans who want to grow the size of government. Not at all. They want to shrink the size of government. But our party actually has a spectrum that goes all the way to, hey, large government isn't the problem, we just need to run it more like a business. And those folks don't tend to have a problem with large government. So our spectrum is a bit wider. So at the end of the day, when the time comes to try to preserve that 2/3 vote against higher taxes, how are you going to do that if the Democrats now not only have the control over their own caucus, but now there's 3 or 4 or maybe even 5 new able Maldonados in the Republican caucus? You can imagine, suddenly it'll be those legislators who are handed the vice chairmanships of committees, who are given the nice offices, who are given favorable consideration of their legislation, given bigger staffs, and it's not going to take long at all before the 2/3 vote is going to be common for tax increases. Not because Republicans don't have a 1/3 plus 1 majority of membership in the institution, but because so many Democrats will have played a role in electing Republicans that the Republicans we have in Sacramento will vote for higher taxes, at least enough of them to make the difference. And this is the key here. This change, Proposition 14, won't turn enough Democrats into moderates to even matter. So at the end of the day, if you care about your wallet, if you care about how much you're paying in taxes, you need to vote no on Proposition 14 for one reason and one reason alone. If it passes, your taxes are going to go only one direction, straight up. This has been an informational editorial from John Fleischman, of the Flash Report. Thanks.